Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly session. It is me, Coach Fatima, here with Trade Love Academy, and we are going to be looking at ES. How's everyone doing? Hey, Charlotte. Let's target promotion. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and hop straight on the charts. Let me share my screen. Let's see. What do we want to do today? Screen 2. Perfect. Okay, before we get started, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to go over anything in particular? I know we've been looking at ES, so XPX 500, but did we want to focus today on gold or US or the Dow? I know we go over them towards the end, but if we wanted to switch it up today, you guys let me know exactly what you all want to do, what we all want to go over today. Because we're hopping straight in the charts. We don't have any news coming out. So remember our routine. Every morning, you guys are checking your fundamental analysis. So like go over your Bloomberg or your Investopedia or your Yahoo Finance, just to get a overall market sentiment. Trading affirmations. Remember we used to do those? I love that. Let's actually just go over our trading affirmations. We haven't said those in a while. Okay, let everyone get a chance to trickle on in because, again, we're just going to hop straight onto the charts, practice our entries. You guys say US 30? Cool. We could look at US 30 today. We could look at US 30. Cool. Alrighty, so trading affirmations. I am becoming more intelligent every day. I am a well-informed trader. I am confident in my ability to make money in the market. I trust my analysis, and every trade is an opportunity for growth and learning. I understand the importance of proper risk management. I'm a disciplined trader making calm and rational decisions. My mind is focused, my decisions are precise, and success is my daily companion. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me in multiple sources on a consistent basis. How does that make everyone feel? Are we in the mood now? Are we in the mood to hop in the markets? Alrighty, so let me just grab. Okay, so do you guys have your trading plan out? We have a goal for today. We're going to be looking at US 30. All right, I went over fundamental analysis before. We'll go and look at our technical analysis. So we have a screenshot here. Market's looking pretty green. Again, right before the official New York Open. Okay, and Forex Factory. Looks like we don't have any high impact news, which is indicated by, of course, a red folder this morning. But this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, we have FOMC meeting minutes. Okay, so it's just a detailed report of the FOMC's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights into the economic and financial conditions that influence their vote on where to set interest rates. So keep an ear out if you are trading during that time. I'll also be on Top Step TV around 2:15. We'll see how the market's moving around that time, but got the invitation a couple weeks ago, so that's going to be exciting. I guess I'm doing something right? All right. Drop some fours in the chat. If you guys are ready to get on the charts, hop into this market. and see what's been going on. Okay, so today, Charlotte's really, she's like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Yes, let's do it. Okay, so we'll look at US 30, which is the Dow YM. Okay, but just really quickly, let's just kind of go over what happened last week during class with the ES. So last week it was what? May the 20th. We were kind of right here in the market. Let's bring it down to the 1 hour. Okay. Why do we have 20? I guess I put the wrong date. Anywho, so last week, Wednesday, this is kind of where we were during class at 8 a.m., right here in this kind of box here. We see that this price, 59.40, was the R8 on the 4 hour. So that price zone. And then once price reached that area here, we saw that we had a 15-minute R8 at a higher level. So at 59.57. So what did that tell us? We had support here. Price kind of broke out of our box a little bit, but just continued to make higher highs. Really not, coming below this area of support. It broke above this R8 on the 4 hour. Price then kind of touched the R8 on the 15-minute. So as soon as it hit kind of that 59, 58, 59.60 kind of zone there, price shot straight down and started to sell. So really strong levels. Price did a little pullback here. So if we use our fib from the most recent high to this most recent low, once price broke above this area, we could have thrown a fib here. Zoom in a little bit because we have a lot of lines. And so this was our 50, our 61.8 levels up here at 59.60, our R8. So that was a real magnetic zone, but the buyers were unable to, bring price back above that area. And so the market just did what it's just been making higher, lower lows and lower highs. That's all we've been doing lately. So we've been in this sell trend. Price broke all the way down here. Now it's back up to this R8. So you see how when we map out our trades there, no matter what the market does, we kind of have a clue as to what we intend to do if it does this or if it does that. Okay, so now we're hopping on over to US 30. So we know that that is YM. That's the product code in the futures market. So let's take a look. Let's do our whole top down. Oh, you know what? Let's do our complete top down analysis just like we do in ES. Okay, so let me get my charts ready. You guys get your charts ready. Pull up your 4 hour. I'm gonna go back and forth here and just copy our things. I'm pretty sure there's a much easier way. What else do we have? Alrighty, our chart key. Okay, cool. Now we are done. Okay, so once again, let's go over. We'll go over our strategy, what we're using each of our indicators for. We have our charting steps. That way, if you want to chart on the higher time frames, but we're just going to go and we'll do all of this. It's only going to take us 10-15 minutes. We'll start from scratch. And then you'll also see how, even though we've been practicing this strategy and, charting and doing everything with ES, once you know your pair, you can do it with other pairs as well. They just have their own characteristics. And so you definitely just want to notate that. It's the same thing. All right, let's go. Okay, so let's start fresh. I know we have some new watchers, viewers, whatever you guys want to call it. So there's a couple different things that we use. So basically, we are scalping or using our intraday trading. You could use this strategy if you're scalping. We're just using market structure. So, and then incorporating that with candlestick patterns. Then we use these indicators to help us identify momentum in the market in key areas. So we're just using market structure and then our indicators as a guide. So our pivotal zones here, again, when price kind of reaches this S0, this negative zone here, this is kind of our selling area. We kind of want to look for support in this zone, coming down to here. This is our support area. So we'll be looking for buys there. And then, of course, this R8 and above. So kind of our demand area. So we have resistance there. We'll be looking for sells. And I know that's the oversimplified version of pivotal zones. Of course, the market doesn't always buy or sell in these areas. You have to take that in conjunction with a couple other factors in the market, but that's what we'll go over. Alrighty, and then our EMAs. So we kind of use our EMAs to help us identify trend. So short-term and long-term trend, we use kind of our crosses here. So our 200 EMAs, this red, 800 EMAs purple, 200 EMAs red, 50 EMA is green. And then we have our yellow being our 20 EMA and our 10 blue. So we like to use the crosses. So whenever our EMAs cross, that helps us to identify, over either long-term or short-term trend here. So really like to use the 10-20 cross on our 15-minute to help us identify what trend the market is in so that we're staying on the right side of the market. Let me see here. I want to move. Just going to clean up this a little bit here. And we'll just have an MA cross, our 10-20 cross here. So that, a lot of those other indicators, a lot of those other EMAs, the 800, the 200, the 10, they're very helpful. But if we want a clean chart and we just want to just focus on being in buys and sells, we can clean up some of the noise there. And then our RSI. So usually we're used to seeing our RSI in a line kind of view here where we're crossing up when we're oversold, and then when we're in our overbought area above the 80%, kind of crossing down. And, that's not telling us that, price is going to continue to buy or continue to sell, but it's just letting us know just momentum at that time frame. So if we're looking for buys, ideally, We want to be getting in the market when we're kind of oversold, crossing up to get into the market. And then, of course, if we're looking for sells, so we kind of use these to kind of help us identify those waves in the market, higher highs, higher lows, and things of that sort. Any questions about how what we're using our pivots, our RSI, and our moving averages for? Hey, Maureen. Sure, we can look at NAS. Okay, so perfect. So let's start off on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to use our 4-hour time frame, and I need everyone to chime in just so that we are making sure we're all on the same page. 4-hour time frame. Identify the higher time frame trend. So what's the higher time frame telling us now? Are we buying or selling? The EMA cross, this 1020 cross is a short-term EMA. So using it on the higher time frames is not going to be really helpful. So let me just hide that really quickly. What are we doing, guys? Are we making higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs? Thank you. Yes, we are buying. We can see this very clearly with our naked chart here without any sort of, moving averages, anything on our charts. We can tell price is making higher highs and we're making higher lows. Right now, we had a little bit of a pullback, meaning that price went below our most recent low and not making a higher high. So we had a little bit of a pullback here, but overall, we've been in a buy trend. Perfect. And as we can see, price reached up here to this R8. We were expecting it to sell, if price is following market structure. And so what did it do? It did exactly that, and it came right down here to our S0 on the 4-hour time frame. And when price comes down to our S0, we're expecting price to then go into a buy. And what did it do? It did exactly that. So perfect. So we got the higher time frame trend. So 4-hour buying, we had a little pullback, and then it's continuing to make higher highs and higher lows here. All right, so I'm just taking notes. Okay, so 1-hour time frame. So this is our top-down analysis. This is so that we get a full grasp of the market. We're not just zoomed into the lower time frame. We know what's happening at a higher level, and it can help us explain, the story of the market when we're in, on the 15-minute and the 5-minute time frames. Okay, so we're going to look at the 1-hour time frame to tell us what is the current state of the market. And what does that mean? So even though, like on the 4-hour time frame, we were on a buy trend, we want to see if on the 1-hour, are we in a pullback? Is it, are we in a counter trend trade on the 1-hour, or is price still in line with the overall trend? So what are we doing now? Are we still buying on the 1-hour time frame? Let's look at what's going on currently. So from the last couple of days. So on Friday, price hit this support level. Price came back up here, made a higher high, higher low, higher high, kind of equal low, higher highs. There we go. Yep. So on the 1-hour time frame, we are still buying as well. Perfect. So should we right now, this is telling us that what is going to be, well, let's look at the 15-minute just to make sure. But right now, it's kind of looking like if we were to just take one type of trade, if we weren't doing any counter trend trades, what type of trades would we be looking for today? based on our analysis of the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame so far. Buys or sells? There we go, Miss Charlotte. Yes, ma'am. Buys. Alrighty, so we're going to go into the 15-minute time frame. And from there, we're going to look at our pivotal zones and our pivotal levels. Yes, Miss Kelly. And we're going to mark off those levels. So 15-minute, R8. And then our 15-minute S0. So just like we are just looking at our intraday zones, and we use the 15-minute to help us identify those. You help and moreover, sorry y'all, I'm still a little tired. Had a horrible night's sleep yesterday, so I'm still a little all over the place. And moreover, we use our pivotal zones to help us to identify those major areas of support and resistance, so we know exactly, our destination in the market intraday wise. Because of course, if we're trading futures and we're, using Top Step and things like that, we can't hold our trades overnight. So we want to make sure that we're in and out of the market. Okay, so our 15 minutes. So we have our resistance up here. We have our support level here. If we take our fib from this highest point to this lowest point here, just dragging it over, we'll see that price kind of came all the way here to our 786 area. So kind of blew past this zone. We'll see. Right now we're looking for buys. So we're expecting price to, continue to buy up to this area and not really pull back right now. So just wanted to see what zone that was on our fibs. Now, unlike ES, remember I was telling you guys due to back testing, I saw that ES, so XPX 500, really likes the R7 and the S1 for its where it's finding its major support and resistance. However, the Dow likes the S0 and the R8 levels, so the ultimate levels there. And we know that typically we can really pull up the Dow and just help us. It kind of can be the leader in conjunction with NAS on that 15-minute time frame. So let's see here. Okay, so right now, what is the market telling us? So we were in for this buy, market's making higher highs, higher lows. We're bought right now. So we may have price come down and pull back just a little bit. As we can see, this 15-minute candle, this most recent 15-minute candle, we still have 2 minutes here, but we have this long wick. What do wicks tell us? Wicks can tell us that there's kind of some rejection in that price zone. So, our candlesticks help to tell a story. What price did, that market open? Did that candlestick open at? What price did it close? How high the buyers were able to, pull the price to? How low the sellers were able to pull price to? So, looking like we I don't want to speak too soon because we still have a minute. All my candlestick lovers, what type of candlestick kind of pattern is this candle here? And what do you guys think is forming? What type of pattern? Or because I can see a doji there, can see a hammer there. Any Candlestick lovers who know those candlestick patterns. Remember didn't we do like a course or a workshop one time and we had like did like flashcards or something with our candlesticks? It's kind of cool. Or like we played a game, some kind of game we did, candlestick game. We got to bring that back. Okay, so we will take a look here. Looks like boxing up our zones. So if market is following structure, we might see something like this. We want to see price make a higher high before maybe coming back down here into the sell area. But in order for us to confirm that, of course, we want to see price break out of kind of this box here. Oh, no. Whole thing. Here we go. Alrighty. And so once it breaks out of this box, what do we mean by that? We want to see if price is going to make a higher high and continue to buy, or if price is going to break below this low. You know that when the New York Open comes in, we have a lot of orders coming in, buy side, sell side. So when we're setting up our trades, we want to see what is going to happen here. Are we making higher highs and continuing with that pattern? We don't have any news coming out. It's 8:30. Now we bring it down to the 5-minute to perfect our entry and kind of give us a clue as to what's going on. Okay, looking at this structure that we have currently, you guys, it's how many of us here? Nine people here. Would you either be sitting this out if you had to get into a trade right now? And I'm like, you're in a trade right now. Are you taking a buy, a sell, or sitting this out? And if you're sitting it out, why? Let's talk it on through. Let's talk it and see exactly like what we're seeing here, why we would get into other trades. And remember, there's no wrong answers. It all depends on your goals in the market, what you're seeing in the market, what's your risk tolerance, because some people may only need to be in a trade for 5 or 10 points. Other people are trying to hold their trades for 20 or 30 points. So you could be in a buy and you could be, in profit in that buy, and someone else can come along and, be in a sell and be profitable in that sell while you're still profitable in your buy, because everyone's looking at different confirmations. Okay, so Miss Kelly's saying she's gonna wait. It's consolidating. Charlotte's saying the same thing. She's gonna wait for a close above or below this box. And I agree with that as well. This seems like a really choppy area here. This would have been nice to catch this move and this nice trend here. Even though we don't see price making higher highs, but this is just a consolidation area. We really definitely, like we said, want to see a break above or outside of that level. Let's look at our Top Step X platform. I have my wrinkle charts there and I really love them. Okay, so this is just a practice account, nothing crazy. Let's go ahead before we've been in our micro S&P. So let's go ahead and switch over to YM now. So the Dow or the micro Dow. Been doing micros. So let's see. So there's some price difference, mainly like the fluctuations in price. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. 2 drawings. Okay. All right, let's clean up our charts here. So I have our VWAP. I haven't taught you guys about VWAP just yet. Then we have our EMA cross, had some SARS on here, just helping someone kind of really get into the rhythm of the market and just flowing. We were using a combination of SARS and our 1020 cross, just not using any other indicators, just using those two things just for, while he was practicing identifying trend, staying in the market, not closing his positions too early. So we use those to help out. All right, so we can use a pending order. So if you right click on your screen, we can do a buy stop for 1 above this area. We'll do a sell stop below this area. So right above that high, right above this low on the 15-minute. We don't want to get, ticked in. We'll keep an eye out for it, but we want to get set up. And now let's look at where would we take if price is going to sell. If we're looking for a sell, where would our destination be? And if we're looking for a buy, what would our destination be? So what would our take profit points be? And again, we use our pivotal zones to help us with that. So once price breaks out of this box, meaning once price makes a higher high, that would activate our buy signal. And we would be looking for price to come up here to 42,480. So around this zone here, we can mark that off. What do we say? 42,480. Okay, perfect. Nice clean charts. So just notating that. And if we're looking at our sell and prices coming back down here, where would our next zone be? What would our TP area then be if we were coming to, once price breaks out of this level here? Price may not come all the way down to this S0. So we can use our fib from this low to this low to this high here, because we're in a buy. Price comes down here. Our first TP area will be 42,360. Second TP, 42,342. And then, of course, if price keeps tanking down, then we have our other pivotal zones here. But typically, if we're in a buy, we're going to see price do what? Okay, pull back here and then continue to make those higher highs to go back into this level. So market could do a couple different things. Whatever it does decide to do in this area, we are prepared. How does everyone feel about this trade setup? Do we understand why we've set it up this way and what we're looking for? I know Charlotte, I believe, was asking, do we get in on the lower time frames? So we're going to practice that. So now that we kind of have an idea of, okay, if maybe this is easier to see, kind of if we're in this long, we're going to go up here for 40 points. We're never risking more than, I don't know if I would do a 1-to-1 here. Once we see where price breaks out of, we'll have a low that we can kind of set. Right now, this is our current low if we have a break above here. And so really tight, 40 points. And of course, never want to risk more than what we intend to make. So we just adjust our stop loss, once price makes that higher high. And then, of course, if we're looking for that sell, once price breaks out of that box, then we will be looking for something like this. Our short position down here. Again, the same thing, wherever is our most recent high, because if price comes up and breaks that high, that means we're no longer making lower lows. We're making higher highs. We want to definitely be out of that trade. We have to kind of wait a little bit. What time is it? Because you guys remember what happened the last time? It was really, really fast. Broke out of the box to the downside, hit those TPs, and then immediately shot back up to the buy side. And that can happen a lot. So we want to be alert. Okay, so we see what's going on the 5-minute. It's still just wicking around here, still consolidating, still within this box, not making new highs or new lows. Okay. Let's look at the 1-minute. See if it's giving us any additional insight into what price may want to do. Interesting, though, on the 1-minute, look at these pivotal zones. We really see price kind of really tapping from the R8, coming back all the way down here to the S0, and then eventually coming back up here to the R8. If you were able to, be in all this kind of wiki movement. It's getting up there. 42,380 to 42,425, this area here. So let's see how price reacts at these pivotal levels. It's coming up here to the R8. Let's see if we have any clues. We're coming near the R8. So we're trying to see if we can anticipate, or if we can predict, or if we're getting any clues as to what direction the market is going to go in. So of course, if we're going to break out of this box here, ideally we would have loved to see, maybe our RSI kind of looking or towards our over sold area, kind of pushing up once it got to this area. But right now, it looks like it's just in an overbought zone coming straight down. It's kind of reaching this R8. So I'm not expecting in this particular price movement that price is going to make that higher high. It looks like it's coming back down here to sell and still just bouncing around. We really want to see now if our RSI kind of look like this, kind of in our overbought area, and it was down here, like at our S1, S0 kind of level, that would have been a good indication that, oh, okay, we're going to get some selling momentum. Boom. Scumbag Trading says, why do you trade the Dow? That where we were doing ES, like going over ES, but we just asked today, what does anyone want to go over? And we have some Dow traders, so they wanted to look at the Dow. So we kind of went over ES earlier at the beginning of the session, and now we're just looking at the Dow towards the end. So usually we get off around 9:30, just right after the New York Open. We go over gold. We usually go over Dow just in a really quick, just really briefly there, but you can trade. I like ES because it's a good, beginner pair to trade, but we still have some Dow traders here. So just going over it. Oh, well, thank you. Welcome. So we kind of went over our strategy, what we're looking for, what we kind of use our indicators for earlier in the session. So if you could just, I don't know if you guys can rewind, but it kind of, our edge, we're just using our pivotal zones. We're using our RSI. We're not really using order flow right now. That's something that I'm going to teach towards the end of the year, because this is actually a group that we've come from the Forex markets. And so we didn't have order flow there. So baby steps. We'll incorporate that later on. Okay, so we're looking at our trade here. We kind of set up buy stop, sell stop. It has not broken out of that zone. We have our take profits for our buy, which is our 42,480. Oh, that's what we were supposed to do. Our sell TP area, which was our 42,360. We're just still bouncing around. It looks a lot cleaner on the 15-minute, right? Looks like we might, let's look at our Renko charts. What is our Renko telling us? It's telling us that even though it's still overbought, we have these huge
order filled.
We're in. All right, we'll take our TP up to this area. We just went in for one because it was a pending order. Once we get that confirmation, now as you guys can see, when you're in your micro YM, every like one contract is equivalent to, look at these, you could check your price points. It's completely different than ES. So you also have to take that into consideration when switching over as well. And we're using our micro contracts. So for me personally, because it's only like a 50-cent difference there. Once price comes back in here, I'm going to put in so that I'm in 5 micros there. Got tapped in. Definitely don't want, if price comes below this 15-minute candle, definitely don't want to be in that trade anymore. Let's look at our 5-minute. Looks like price is still making higher highs. Look at our short-term EMA. We had a cross down here giving us that confirmation of this buy. Price is still, we don't see, we have our EMAs nice and spread. That's giving us a good confirmation of, that trend. Price making higher highs. This is on the 5-minute. Another confirmation. We're looking at our RSI. Our RSI, we were oversold. We have this nice buying momentum here. So this is giving us like a good confirmation that we're going to buy. Let's look at the 1-minute on TradingView. Okay, still kind of just bouncing around here. So we'll see. We still have a lot more room to go. And we typically don't want to put our fibs kind of in the middle of, our fibs. Our pivotal zones here. Ideally, we want to see it at our most recent high and our most recent low. But again, we're just looking and we're just saying, okay, if the market does this, we're doing that. If it does that, we're doing this. We had to get out of that wanting to be right, only looking at one side of the market. The market's going to do this so that I can get, and then once the market does opposite of that, then we don't know how to re-enter. Then we like over leverage. We hold on to trades, longer than we should have. And so we're getting out of those bad habits there. Okay, so today's class is going to be a little shorter. We're only going to be going till 9, so we have about 10 minutes because I have to run to an appointment again. Um, so you guys, let's go over gold. Let's go over ES. We're just waiting for this trade. We got activated in. We have our stop loss here, not risking too much, but 20 points. Once price, crosses back up into this area, which is 42, 447, that will activate my additional trades there. Let's look at our other pairs now. Charlotte, you say you got it? Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay. Let's put them all together since we don't have too much time. All right, let's get organized here. Give me 1 second. Let's look at everything on the 15-minute time frame. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, that's why. I'm like, am I going nuts? Sorry. Okay. Our Dow is here. Oh, I mean, our ES is there. Dow's here. Gold's there. Alrighty, cool. Oh, let me adjust this here. I don't want to get wicked out. Still only 26 points. Slow. Still don't want it out of our box here. I don't know where our box kind of disappeared to. Yep, the price action with the ES and Dow, yes, they are very similar. That's why I do like to have them kind of pulled up on the 15-minute side by side. So you can tell like what Dow's about to do, and if it's about to react at a certain zone, can kind of give you an idea of what ES may do. Gold is sometimes inverse, sometimes it's not. Lately, these wicks in gold have been a lot. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we have our consolidation boxes. These are like our decision zones. waiting for price to really. All right, let's see. Our Dow. What's Dow doing? Daddy Dow. If it comes below that point, we're out $27. We're back in on the sell. We have our new TP. We'll make up for it. We'll be perfectly fine. A little bit below these wicks here. And, you know, that's what comes. I love putting in pending orders. I know that oftentimes with those pending orders comes getting wicked into a trade, but because I can, you know, have more control over my entry and exit prices, that's just the risk that I take. So, you know, we're waiting for price to come up and make a higher high than this high here. It came up to that price point, grabbed our order. We had an immediate flush down here. Just in one contract, which is why I like just not going all head first. Test out the waters first. And again, just risking a small amount there. You know that this time isn't my most favorite time to trade, but we always have to practice how we're in and out of the markets, how we're analyzing the markets, and what we're looking for, how we get in, how we get out, how we manage our trades. So a lot goes into that. And then even I'm kind of weary to even have my stop loss where it's at right now, because it might even just come down here and touch this 50 EMA and continue to push forward. We'll see. And that's another thing too, what I was telling everyone, your first trade of the day, try to take it in your demo just to get your feet wet, just to, you know, get out those first trade jitters and test the waters. Alrighty, guys. We have our trades kind of set up for the day. Again, with gold, if it breaks out of this box, we have it going up to 33.20. If it breaks below 33.05, we have price coming down here to 3,300. So we're just waiting for it to break out of this consolidation box here, make a decision, and then once it does, we kind of have a destination. Same thing here with the Dow. If it breaks below this box, again, we're being very cautious because, you know, we do see these EMAs. Again, we're all looking at the 5-minute time frame. We've done a full top-down analysis, but we're just looking at how price is going to react to the 5-minute time frame here. Kind of zoom us in a little bit, you know, more into the markets, but not at like the 1-minute time frame. So if it breaks below this box, we have our levels here for this sell. Even if you wanted to do that fib, if you're a fib user, if you're a fibby, you can use your fib. So a bunch of different price points. It all just depends on what you're looking for and what your goals are. So, you know, if you're a scalper and you're just going in for a quick scalp, you just might take it down here to 42,360, just because that's where we have our 50 EMA. Just risk, you know, you're just going in for a couple points there. 27, 30 points. To me, that's a scalp. Some people, that might be their, what, what they need for the entire day for their trade. So it's up to you. That's also the 50, again, EMA on the 5 minute. And of course, if we continue, once price reaches this level, if we don't see it turn around and use this as a buying zone, as we anticipate it to do, to continue to buy up to 42,480, if we see strong selling momentum and push downwards, then we have our next spots here. So 42,310, 42,285. And again, these pivotal zones, just take, if you're a naked chart user, just take like these, this liquidity and our support and things like that from the past. That's how, these zones are created, these levels are created, excuse me. So whatever you're using, whatever type of confirmation it is, whatever indicator, just be consistent. It looks like, and I like to show you guys that, okay, if you're using fibs, same point. If you're using, we're all using different methods of transportation to arrive, at the same destination. Alrighty, and same thing over here with the Dow, with ES. So kind of just waiting to see what it's gonna do. Is it gonna just, it's a little bit clearer here on ES. Shows that we're kind of, coming down here to our oversold area. And then, of course, we would love to see, pricing going back into that buy, continuing with market structure, making a higher high, higher low, higher high. Oh, we were just kicked out of that trade. Let's see what it's going to do. Is it just going to touch this area? Oh, I should have moved it a little lower. But great, so that we see this in real time. All right, so this new 15-minute candle came in. We're in this buy. Let's look at the 1 minute. Our 1 minute is near our S1. Oh, see? Jeez. And get activated. We're going to use the same parameters.
Order filled.
Same TP area. Going to bring our stop loss. Of course, if price comes below this sell limit, the support area, don't want to be in this trade any longer. If I were looking to add on more positions to my trade here, it would be once price, would make a higher high and break out of this level. So again, got wicked in. We were waiting for price to break here. Wicked, price came all the way down here to the support level, where we had this low before. That was also our 50 EMA on the higher time frames. No biggie. We were just in for one contract. We're out. Well, that was like, what, $30? So now that we have our confirmation of what the market is going to do, we see it coming back up here, buying. That was just a wick there. And now we're on the right side of the market. Oh. Are we? Look at these candles here. Jeez. Kind of touching around in those areas. Oh, gold just broke out of that box. The 5 minute looks like it's touching our 800 EMA though. And we know that can be a kind of either support or resistance. Looked like it was resistance here in the past. Let's see how it's going to react. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, it's 9. Gotcha. Okay, so do we have any questions? Look at gold go. All right, so we went to the lower time frames, the 1 minute, showed that gold just shot right up here. That was also the R8, so it came straight back down. So it Shot up here to 33.15, came back here down to 33.12, and now you see price making higher highs, really using this area 33.09 as support, continuing to make higher highs. Oh, Cornelia, I'm so sorry. Yes, you did say NAS. Next Wednesday, we will do NAS first. And yes, they are. I don't trade NAS anymore, but when I put them kind of side by side, they are different price points, of course, but let's see. Will 4 be too much? Okay, so same thing. We're gonna just wait for it to break out of its own little range here that it's been creating between 21,488 and 21,536. See what it's saying on that 5-minute time frame. See if we can adjust these areas. Okay, looks like it might be trying to 5-minute. We're oversold, so we'll see how these next candles come out to see if it's going to try to break to the upside as well. What is US 30s coming out into that? But I'm just a little wary about that as well because we're oversold here. So it might be just touching this 200 EMA, this P4 kind of level. This is the 5-minute time frame. We're oversold. So of course, if it makes a lower low, then that would confirm that sell. But we need a candle close below this area, not just a wick out of that, just confirm that sell there. So give the market, this kind of price action, just in and out, wicking back and forth, can be a little frustrating. Remember, I always say, just watch what the market's going to do. And then at that 9:45 kind of candle, that will help you to be more precise in the market. Alrighty, guys. Well, y'all have a great day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you all next Wednesday. I'll post analysis there in the chat with our pairs moving forward. And you guys have a great rest of your week. Oh, you're most welcome.